Okay, so we're going to also talk about computation, adding and subtracting, multiplying in binary. Now, one of the things, this is how your calculator really computes. Computers, they don't have lots of different choices, right? It's either 0 or 1. And so, in actuality, the computer doesn't need it. When you are learning your addition facts, you're adding 0 through 9 through 0 through 9. That's 100 additions that you have to memorize or learn. Computer just has to learn a couple. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. And 1 plus 1, we would call it 2, but again, the computer is going to call it a 0 and carry a 1 over to the next column, or 1, 0, and that's it. For multiplying, 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 0 is 0, and 0 times 0 is 0. And that's it. So the computer actually has it easy as far as learning its facts. There aren't very many, right? It answers either 0 or 1, and sometimes you would have to carry that 1 over to the next column. So we're going to add these numbers together, right? Just like you would add 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0, that's not good. So we try that over. Alright, 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 0 is 0. And 1 plus 1 is 2. But again, we don't write a 2, we write a 0 and carry 1 to the next column. And so that would be my answer. If we think about this, this is really, this number at the top is the decimal number 10. This number at the bottom is 9. And 10 plus 9 would be 19. And over here, this number here would be a 1, a 2, no 4s, no 8s, and a 16. So 16 and 3 is 19. So you see how it matches up. But all we had to do is add, we either get 1 or 0. Right? I'm going to add these numbers. Again, I don't need to figure out what it is in decimal. I just need to add. 1 plus 1 is 0 with carry a 1 because it's 2. And then you have 1 and 0 and 0, that's 1. 0 and 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 1 is 2, so that's a 0, and carry a 1 to the next column. 1, 0, 0 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. And that's it. So if I write it a little neater, this would be my answer here. Now, I can't figure out what that means, but I really don't need to if I'm adding in binary. Again, all it was is I'm adding 1s and 0s together. Now, an interesting thing is, well, can you add in base 16? Well, yeah, and if I take a look, if I think about the last one when I translated between binary and base 16 in the last problem set, alright, this top B51, B is the number for 11, which is 1011. 5 is 0101, and 1 is 0001. So this top number in base 16 actually would be B51. The bottom number in base 16 would be 491. And if I just add those, 1 plus 1 is 2. Now in base 16, a little trickier, right? 5 plus 9 is 14, which in base 16 is E. And then B is 11 plus 4 is 15, and then it would add up to F. And then take a look at, alright, F is 1111. E is 1110, and 2 is 0010. So it does check out. You can add base 2, base 8, base 16. A little more complicated in base 16 because, again, there are more number facts that you would have to learn. you'd have to learn, 16 times, you'd have to learn 256 number facts in order to know all of the facts for base 16, whereas base 2, you only have to learn essentially 3. Alright, and multiplication, it works the same. If you take a number and you multiply it by 1, you get the same number. It's the identity property. So 1 times this would be 1, 1, 0, 1, or essentially copy the number. Or if you multiplied 0 times this, it would be 0, 4 zeros. So if I take that original number 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, and I'm going to multiply it by 1, 0. Just like you multiplied before, you'd multiply the 0 and the 1s here times this, the first number, which would be 0, 0, 0, 0. And then you'd start here multiplying the 1 down the next row. You'd start 1 in, because these are the 2's now. So 1 times 1, 1 times 1, 1 times 0. And I don't even really need to multiply because, again, it just 1, so you copy the number. 0, if you multiplied, it's zeros. And now what I do need to do is I need to add the columns up. So I need the skills that I had from adding. But that's it. Alright, and this number in decimal is 11 times 1, 0, which is 2. So this should be 22. And this number down here is a 16, a 4, and a 2, which is 22. So it means the same thing. But again, multiplying by 0 is just zeros. Multiplied by 1, you just recopy the number, and it's just a matter of adding. Alright. So I want you to see if you can try to do this. There's going to be 4 rows, right? So 4 multiplications, alright, that you're going to do, and then add them up at the end. So pause this, and then come back when you think you have an answer, and we'll check it out. Okay, and so I have, I've taken the number and I multiplied by 1. In purple here, it's just the same number up top. Next row is green, zeros. Well, that's a bunch of zeros. The next number is red. 0 times this is a bunch of zeros. And then in black, 1 times this number is just that number. Just started over here. And now I just need to go ahead and add up the, let's do it in blue. 1 plus nothing is 1. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, and 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Now here's where I do have to be a little bit careful when you have multiple rows here. So 1 plus 1 is 2, so it's a 1 with a carry 1 to the next row. It's a 2. I'm sorry, 1 plus 1 is 2, Bossert. So it's a 0 with 1 in the next row. So that's a 1. And it happens again. 1 plus 1 is 2, so 0, carry a 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, it's a 0, carry a 1. 1 plus 0 is 1, and 1. So that would be my answer here. And that's it. So, I mean, you can make a case, maybe multiply that one, and that'll be your last one for the night. You can make a case that multiplying and adding in binary is easier. There isn't facts that you have to know and memorize. It's either 1 or 0. When you're multiplying, it's either you copy the number in the next row or it's all zeros. That's it. So we're going to do a little bit more of this in class. But, computation of binary, you can do it. Talk a little bit about subtraction too tomorrow in class. It's a little trickier with the borrowing, but I think you're going to get the hang of it. All right, namaste.